Hey guys, we are doing language class. Turn to page 159, and when you turn to page 159, you might actually get a little bit excited because we are going to be doing some more diagramming. And you might notice this diagram is, of course, like the subject and verb, but I have, like we would normally do with adjectives, we would just put a line underneath it, but adjectives describe nouns. And this right here, this line is underneath where my verb goes. And that's not a mistake because we're going to be diagramming adverbs. And when I have an adverb, my adverb is describing my verb. If I had an adjective, it would be over here because my subject is a noun and it would be describing a noun. Page 159, we're still putting our subject here and our verb here, just like always. But our adverb is going to be going here instead of like the adjective over here or whatever else we might have been doing. We're still marking the sentences like we've been doing, underlining our subject once, underlining our verb twice, circling that adverb, drawing an arrow from the adverb to the verb that it is describing. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Number 1, it says Molly poured hot syrup on her pancakes slowly. So we have to find our verb and our subject first. Let's go ahead and worry about doing that. So what is my action word? Or maybe what is on my helping verb list? Because I do have am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been, have, has, had. Any of those could be a verb in my sentence as well. I have Molly poured hot syrup on her pancakes slowly. Well, I have the word poured. That's something that you can do, like you pour water out of a bucket or something like that. So poured is going to get underlined 2 times. So underline the word poured 2 times. And I'm going to ask who or what did my action. So in this sentence it's poured. Who or what poured? Who or what poured? I'm going to say Molly poured. Molly poured. So I'm going to go ahead and underline Molly 1 time because she's the one doing my action in this sentence. And then go ahead and draw that line between my subject and predicate. And you should have drawn a line between Molly and poured because that's between my subject and predicate. And now all I need to do is find my adverb. So my adverb, I have the word poured, and my adverb questions are how, when, where, how often, to what extent. We're using how, when, and how often. Those are the 3 that I'm using right now for the most part. So I can say poured how. Molly poured how. Do I have a word in here, an adverb that answers how? Right, I do. The word slowly tells me how she's doing it. So circle the word slowly and draw a line from slowly to poured. And draw an arrow, not a line, draw an arrow from slowly to poured. And on my diagramming line, you're going to write Molly right here, and then poured right here, and slowly right here. So let's get it written up there. Molly poured how? Slowly. So Molly poured slowly, and that is my adverb for this sentence, and it's describing poured, my subject, verb, and adverb. Make sure it's written down, and make sure your sentence is marked up as well. Number 2, we have often Joseph helps Pastor Allen. So first, of course, I need to find my verb. So what is my action? Well, I have often, that's not a verb. Joseph, well, that's a person, so definitely not a verb. Helps, well, that's something that we can do. So let's underline the word helps 2 times. And I'm going to say who or what helps in this sentence. Who or what helps? And in this sentence, Joseph is the one that's helping. So we're going to underline Joseph 1 time, underline helps 2 times. I'm going to say Joseph helps how, because that's one of my adverb questions. Joseph helps how. Well, I don't have any words in here that tell me how Joseph is helping. So maybe I'm gonna ask when. When did Joseph help? I don't have any adverbs telling me when Joseph is helping. What about how often? How often does Joseph help? Ooh, I do have a word that tells me how often. And it's almost interesting. It's the word often. Often tells me how often something happens. It happens often. So Joseph helps. How often? Often. So we're going to go ahead and diagram that again. I have Joseph. I have helps, my subject, my verb, and I'm going to say Joseph helps how often? He helps often. So make sure those get written down. I want you to do number 3 on your own. You have the same thing that we've been doing, but there's going to be 2 subjects. So you're going to find your verb, and you're going to say who or what is doing this, and there's going to be 2 people or places or things that are doing that action. So find your verb, find your subjects, and then say your subject is doing something how or when or how often, and that will be your adverb. Don't forget to mark your sentences up, underline your subject once, underline your verb twice, and circle your adverb and draw an arrow from your adverb to your verb.